The lion is widely regarded as the true king of the land, yet even it can fall prey to hyenas. The eagle, often seen as the king of the air, becomes completely defenseless at night against owls. In the underwater world, orcas seem to reign supreme with no equal in sight, but is this truly the case? In this chapter, you'll discover why orcas target a whale's tongue, how they use other animals as playthings, their tactics for storming shores, and who might actually stand a chance against the king of the oceans. Let's dive in. Orcas need no introduction. These massive black and white predators are not only formidable, but also incredibly intelligent. No joke. To grasp just how powerful orcas are as hunters, it's enough to know that they devise a specific plan for each hunt. Depending on what's on the menu, orcas, who almost always hunt in groups, select a particular strategy. For instance, when hunting a shark, they first disorient it. For a school of small fish, they use something like a carousel of air bubbles. And when it comes to whales, well, it's something you have to see to believe. Their attack strategy is brutal but effective. The orcas take turns ramming, biting, and pulling the whale by its pectoral fins, gradually exhausting their prey. Despite the size difference, even the largest whales can succumb to exhaustion in such a brutal situation. Imagine being bitten by several medium-sized dogs simultaneously, and then they try to drown you. Yes, orcas block the whale's blowhole, and after a chase that can last for hours, the exhausted giant drowns. Whales, of course, come in various sizes. Some, especially the younger ones, aren't much bigger than the orcas themselves. But what about the blue whale? It's said to be the largest creature to have ever existed on our planet, weighing over 190 tons. That's what we're going to eat, the orcas must have thought, and they rammed it. Now imagine several orcas, who are technically just large dolphins, forcing a blue whale to flee. Even a giant like that prefers not to tangle with them. However, the most common prey of killer whales are baby whales. It's so common that whales will even protect the offspring of other species if they can. For instance, humpbacks have been observed guarding a small grey whale. Even after it was already dead, they simply wouldn't allow the killer whales to finish what they started, probably because they understand what happens to the prey, as orcas are such gourmands. Humpback whale calves are among their favourite meals, but orcas often eat only the tongues, leaving the rest of the carcass for scavengers. Why? Apparently the tongue is especially tasty. The same goes for sharks. Orcas consume only their livers because they contain valuable nutrients. In short, sharks are like vitamins to them. I've been talking about how orcas prey on different types of marine animals, but can anyone stand up to them? Well, it's a different story when it comes to sperm whales. Orcas may hunt females and calves of this species, but they tend to steer clear of the males. The heavy and powerful tail of a sperm whale has the potential to deliver fatal blows. The exact force of such blows is unknown, but an adult sperm whale weighs about 90 tons. That's roughly 10 times the size of a classic Routemaster double-decker bus. Orcas wouldn't stand a chance if the sperm whale were a little more aggressive and smarter. Most whales are massive, but they're not particularly intelligent. It seems all they have are their tails. But what if that same sperm whale were as smart as a human? Hey, you! Yep, on the other side of the screen, what would you do if you were a sperm whale suddenly attacked by an orca? Surely you'd turn around quickly and wham! Hit it with your tail. Or maybe you'd use your teeth. Each of them weighs 2.2 pounds, so why not put them to good use? Another predator that can put up a fight against orcas is the great white shark, you know, the terrifying one with the deadliest eyes. Orcas are considered the only natural enemies of great white sharks, and if the shark manages to bite first, its rows of razor-sharp teeth can pierce even the thickest skin. I believe the shark could win this fight if it strikes first. If not, the orca's special hunting strategy comes into play, as I've mentioned before. The killer whale pushes the shark to the surface with its broad tail, stuns it, and then, as if understanding shark biology, flips the prey, disorienting and paralyzing it. Bon appetit. So who can beat an orca anyway? I considered stingrays, but they're just part of the menu. Sea crocodiles have incredible biting power and thick skin that no killer whale would bite through. But their jaws don't open wide enough to bite off anything important. Maybe you have some ideas? Write them in the comments and we'll be sure to read them. As I mentioned earlier, orcas have many well-honed hunting techniques that they use depending on their prey, the landscape, or maybe even their mood. Who knows, they might even check their horoscope. But one technique in particular amazed me. Watch closely. Seals often rest on ice floes, feeling safe from any threats while bobbing on the waves. An orca is too heavy to climb onto the ice floe to eat a seal, but it can always call its buddies. Several predators line up, accelerate, and then break right in front of the ice floe, creating a wave that washes the seal into the water. All the orcas have to do is catch it. It's not difficult for them, they do it all the time. Sometimes, however, the prey manages to climb back onto the ice, and then the massive wave attack is repeated. Again and again and again. No one's in a rush here, you know. As you've probably figured out by now, orcas are intelligent, ruthless predators that... Wait, what's that? Oh, another one. Maybe it means something. Yes, in addition to their other qualities, orcas are known for their rather peculiar playfulness. And they play like real psychos, literally. No, seriously, instead of just eating a poor seal, orcas use it as if it were a ball. And again and again. Sometimes it's a form of practice, just to keep their killer skills sharp. Sometimes it's a demonstration for the younger generation. And sometimes the game remains just that, a game. Orcas kill because they're bored. Hey Steve, what should we do tonight? By the way, it's not just seals that suffer. Sometimes it can be a stingray, a turtle, or even a penguin. If an orca decides to eat something, it will reach its goal. Seals that are about to make it ashore look like a challenge or the perfect prey to play with. And what else would you call this method of hunting when an orca almost jumps ashore to grab its dinner as it's running away? As if there weren't enough other prey in the sea, for which it's not necessary to break the laws of nature and get on land. However, look at it, what laws? It wants a seal. Sometimes this desire can lead to serious problems for orcas. You can find tons of videos online of these predators who got too carried away, hunting, missed the tide, and yep, that's right, they got trapped. I can practically hear the seals laughing in the distance. In such a situation, the orca has only one option for salvation: get help from people and wait for the tide to return to the sea. Of course, no one can drag a massive animal weighing 3 to 5 tons into the water on their own, and if there are no people around, well, that's natural selection in action. I can't say that the population of killer whales would diminish without human help, but several dozen of these marine predators certainly owe their lives to people. Maybe that's why they sometimes play so happily with us. Fortunately, not as much as they do with seals. At least not usually. It all looks pretty innocent, even funny, almost cute. For example, there's an orca named Luna who lost its family and is so accustomed to people that it behaves like a playful puppy. A multi-ton sea puppy. Watching orcas interact with people, it's easy to forget that they are ruthless predators with no equal in the sea. If you've seen Free Willy, you might feel like you're being shamelessly deceived, and you'd be right. Hollywood is the chief deceiver. Even orcas performing in aquariums aren't the sweet, good-natured creatures they seem. The most chilling example is Tilikum, a trained male orca involved in at least 3 human deaths. The first was Kelty Byrne, who slipped and fell into the pool where Tilikum and 2 other orcas were. The orcas tossed her between them with their jaws, submerged her in the water and prevented her from surfacing. Kelty drowned. The second victim was a man who sneaked into Tilikum's pool after the aquarium had closed. The third attack was the most horrific. Tilikum dragged an experienced trainer, Dawn Brancho, into the water by her hair right at the beginning of a show. In front of a stunned audience, Tilikum played with the victim as if she were a toy. By the time people could reach Dawn, she was already dead. As for the killer orca, it soon returned to performing. After all, you can't let the money go to waste. The most recent tragedy occurred at SeaWorld Orlando. But orcas aren't only kept there. In fact, orcas are housed in every SeaWorld aquarium, and they don't seem to forget their wild instincts. They are predators with no equal in the ocean, being both strong and intelligent. So why not hunt right in the middle of the pool? At SeaWorld San Diego, orcas don't just attack anything edible that crosses their path. They use bait to lure birds closer. They deliberately toss pieces of what appears to be fish into the water and then wait. It works. Orcas likely hunt birds just for the sake of hunting. They're playing. But from Tilikum's perspective, perhaps all the victims were just part of the game too. I'd prefer to stay as far away from orcas as possible, especially if they are kept in captivity and have become too accustomed to humans. What if, to them, we are just skinny, hairy seals? See you later.